Good morning. Welcome to the museum, which you can see clearly here, courtesy of Google Earth. Today I'm presenting something that was just a seed of an idea nearly 2 years ago when Google Earth was born. Then a team of volunteers wondered how this new application, could be used to make the world a better place. Today, through this unique partnership, every Google Earth user worldwide will automatically see a preview of information that shows the destruction in Darfur, and you can see that outlined there on the map of Africa. By bringing together high-resolution satellite imagery, data, and photos into a program accessible to the world, Google Earth allows us to see something that could have gone unseen. This technology allows us to visualize information in seconds or minutes that otherwise might take pages of text or columns of figures to understand, if ever. We are providing the general public, policymakers, and relief workers from all over the world a new resource for seeing this information. Clicking on the icon here in the middle brings up a balloon where you can download more photos, maps, and testimonies and get a complete view of the destruction. And when you do that, it will load over here into the side bar. And I'm going to turn on those layers so you can see it. Users will see the destruction through these layers of content gathered from organizations that include the State Department, the UN, and NGOs like Amnesty International and Physicians for Human Rights. This map shows more than 1,600 villages throughout Darfur that have been partially or completely destroyed, comprising more than 130,000 homes, schools, mosques, and other structures throughout Darfur. The yellow icons that you can see using the legend on the left, the yellow icons represent damaged villages, and the red are destroyed. I'll turn this off to give you a better view. In Darfur, as John said, an area roughly the size of Texas, thousands of structures like this, the one on the left, round mud homes with grass roofs from 10 to 20 feet wide, have been systematically destroyed by Sudanese government soldiers and their proxy militias. This is an example of what's left in their wake. And I show this to you now because we're going to be zooming in on high-resolution satellite imagery in villages that have been destroyed and damaged. And you're going to see these structures. You'll see them, they'll be represented by hollowed, blackened circles on the ground, usually without the roof intact at all. And I'll point those out to you when we get there. But let me illustrate this even better by telling the story of Abdul and his mother from the village of Chete. This is from a report by BBC correspondent Hilary Anderson in 2004. One morning before dawn, Abdul's mother was sleeping in her village, Chete, when they came, the Janjaweed, a word that carries tremendous fear. She heard chaos breaking out and ran with her children. The Janjaweed were firing, killing men, and shooting and hurting children too. Her husband fled also. She does not know if he was killed. This is what Chete looks like. Note the empty circles that were once homes. Again, those darkened circular areas that you can see all over that and that. One of these homes belonged to Abdul and his mother. The next day, Abdul, his mother, and his brothers and sisters began their 3-day journey to the displaced persons camp of Kalma in searing Sahara heat. Now, I drew a line here to make it easier to follow their path. And this is something that anybody can do on their own in the Google Earth interface. This path is over 73 miles long. On her way to the camp, her 7-year-old child could not cope and he died. Here in this view, you can see tens of thousands of tents that make up the camp. And you'll see those again too. We don't know what happened to Abdul and his mother, but think about this. It's just one story. When you zoom to a 40-mile stretch along a riverbed in West Darfur, marked by my blue line here, you can see more than 24 villages that lie in ruin. There are more than 11,000 homes and other buildings destroyed here alone. 11,000 homes. That's one story 11,000 times. More even. Village after village throughout Darfur has been systematically attacked and destroyed. This one that we're zooming in on now is the village of Gubanga. And again, you can see the hollowed black and note circles. So where are the more than 2.5 million Darfurians who have lost their homes? I'll turn on a 3D map of displaced people in Darfur and the more than 200,000 refugees in Chad. And you can do that by going to the interface, and where the displaced persons area is on the left, you can turn on the 3D columns. And it allows you to see something that is not otherwise easy to see. Each bar represents the relative population sizes of all the camps and the other places that people have gathered. By clicking on each, you can understand the population sizes and understand what each bar refers to in terms of the number of people. This is Zalenge, and you can see there are 95,000 people represented by that bar at that height. I'm going to go back to the legend for a moment and show you that here it describes that you're looking at relative sizes of bars, and that the light blue are refugee camps over the border in Chad. Here's the border. And that the dark blue are internally displaced persons camps in Sudan. One of the camps in this view is Tulum. The icons of the cameras that you see, and again you can see the tents here in this camp, the icons of the cameras in this interface represent pictures that are clickable. I'm going to click on this picture. The caption reads, "List of massacres compiled by refugees in Tulum refugee camp, Chad. The refugees are desperate to have their stories told. They want the world to know where, when, what, and who.